This is Mafia Music in the Maybach, that is.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Smoke Screen Podcast, man. Y'all know on Fridays, I usually hit you with digging in the ashtray, but today, I ain't got that for you, man. Ain't no Florida news today. Today, we talking about the Florida man himself, Rick Ross, with his 11th, I believe it's his 11th album, 11th or 12th album, studio album. Man, richer than I ever been, man. Such a great album. You already know how we do it on Smoke Screen, digging in the ashtray. We're real quick, like, I'm gonna give you a good album review, man. A couple of tracks. I'm gonna keep pointing a couple of tracks that I like on here. A couple of tracks I probably would have thrown away. But let's go ahead and break it down, man. First up, we got Lil Havana. He's flexing his muscle a little bit. That's one thing Ross does on this album. He flexes his muscle, right? He's letting you know who I'm connected with, right? He has Willie Falcone. If you don't know who Willie Falcone is, go watch Cocaine Cowboys, written by Billy Corben on Netflix. It's a great movie, man. Willie Falcone, man, a builder in Miami, right? A builder in Miami. But Willie Falcone, it speaks on the track, speaks kind of vouches for Rick Ross, right? I just want to keep a pin in that, right? Talking about vouching for Rick Ross, but he kind of vouches for Rick Ross and lets you know, hey, Ross is a stand-up dude, right? Ross has done that throughout other albums. Hood Billionaire, he's done that. Different albums he's done that had people come on just to speak about him, right? Speak on his name, right? Speak good on his name. But he does that, and Willie Falcone does a good job of speaking in the beginning. Ross does a good job closing it on up, man. So let's go ahead into the next one. The Portals dog. I probably said that wrong, man. I talk about our right, dog. I need to learn how to say that word for the best author, right? Ross is telling you with that name, he's telling you that he's an author, right? So he writes his book, How to Boss Up and Hurricanes. Those are his two books that he's written so far. But Ross is an author. He's telling you that's the prize that he wants to win. But he's also telling you, I am the prize that you see, though. Right? This is the prize that I want to win, the Pulitzer, right? The Pulitzer Prize, best author. But I'm the prize that you see. It's deep, bro. Ross, he hits you with it on this one, man. It's a great track. I gotta say, probably top six, right? Top six. It's 12 tracks on it. I gotta say top six on it, right? It's down there at the bottom for the best of me. Now I'm gonna go to Rapper Estates, man. I'm gonna tell you something before I start this one. If you're a rapper and you start off talking about Malcolm X, Malcolm X, right? He starts off talking about Malcolm X. But if you talk about Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Bobby Seale, Martin Luther King, if you talk about Fred Hampton, if you talk about any of those figures in the Black community and in the Black culture, you better come correct on it, right? You better come correct with your raps, right? Your album better come correct, your verse better come correct. And Ross does a great job with this one, man. I'm gonna tell you, Benny the Butcher, Ross, Benny the Butcher, this song, it pairs perfect together, right? It's like a crispy lemon pepper wing from Wingstop, and on a hot summer day, on a hot summer day, this song Benny the Butcher pairs up with Rick Ross like a nice crispy lemon pepper wing on a hot summer day, man. In a good football game, or a hot fall day, a good cool fall day on a good football game. This man, Benny the Butcher is up next. Ross said, that's all I got to say. Ross said it too. Benny the Butcher up next. Great track. I love it, man. I love this track to death, dog. Benny the Butcher is probably my top four. Right? I'm going to put it at 4, right? And we're going to make it up to the next one, man. This next track, dog, it's my number 1, Marathon. Got to say the Marathon continues always, but the Marathon track, dog, Ross, I would have loved to been in that room when he wrote this. When he wrote this one, this is a great song. It's my favorite one, dog. I'm probably gonna listen to it all day today, nonstop, man. It's a great song. Man, it's a great song. I'm just gonna leave it right there. It's a great song, man. Then we're gonna go on the warm words in a cold world, right? Featuring Wale and Future. Man, this song right here is crazy because he matches that go-go sound with those trumpets of the South. It's just a good pot of gumbo. It's just a good pot of gumbo, bro. I got this. It's just a good pot of gumbo, man. Ross killed it. Ross killed it. Wale killed it. Future killed it, man. I got to say that, dog. It's a great track. Probably my number 2 track on this album, dog. Next one, I'm gonna tell you these next two. I'm gonna go through them real quick. We got Wiggle with Dream Doll. Then we got Can't Be Broke but Young and Ace and Major Nine. Dream Doll, she does a great job, bro. I gotta shout out Dream Doll, man. I'm gonna say I try to stay out of on rap women who rap and how good they are. Gangsta Boo still one of the best in my eyes. But shout out Gangsta Boo, man. But Dream Doll does a great job, man. She stands toe to toe, I think, with every feature she's on with a dude. She stands toe to toe with him. I got to give her respect. Her and Meg Thee Stallion, they do a great job with their raps, bro. You can tell they bought their business, man. Dream Doll does a great job. This next one can't be broke. Young and Ace and Major Nine. Ross, he was born and raised in Miami. He was raised in Miami, so he had to bring that Miami feel to it. This track is just something he has to bring that Miami feel to it. With this track and Wiggle, it has those Miami feels. Even though Lil Havana is named Lil Havana, but these two tracks are the Miami tracks, I believe, on his album. The strip club tracks. Well, Wiggle could be Atlanta and Miami, but the strip club tracks, and different things of that nature. These two are the. They're both, and I Can't Be Broke. Young and Ace is out of Jacksonville, great artist, man. Major Nine, you already know Chad Thomas out of the University of Miami, been doing it for a couple years, dog. The young legend, for real. The young legend, for real, dog. The beat making he does, dog, is phenomenal, dog. I'm pretty sure he made this beat. It had his sound to it. But Major Nine does a great job. He laying down the track too. But Ross just flexing his muscle, let you know I get them young boys too. Right, I'm the old nigga in Miami and in Florida, but I can get them young boys too if I need to, right? And so that's kind of flexing his muscle a little bit, man. Then we're gonna go on to Made It Out Alive, featuring Blast. This is a track I wish he would have put Moray on, but it's nonetheless him flexing his muscle, let you know I can go out west. And I grabbed the boy out west too, man, laying on the track, man. He does a great job. Blast does a great job laying down with the features on, with the verses and with the hooks on the track. Does a great job with it, dog. But I really would have liked to saw heard Moray on it. But it's a good track, man. Next one we're gonna have Outlaws. Outlaws, man, that's the single that he dropped, man. I'm gonna tell you, Ross, the way he moves, he drops his this is probably his third or fourth best song, like I said, third or fourth best song on here. I don't even know if it's third or fourth, dog. It's probably his third favorite song on here, but he put it on as his as his first single, just to get the test, just to test the water. I guess people bid on it a little bit, so he was like, it's time for an album. That's pretty smart how he moves with it, but that's usually how, from reading his Hurricane book, that's usually how he does things. He throws things out to see if people bite on it. If they bite on it, then okay, now it's time for album. Had they not bid on it, then the album probably would have been pushed back a little bit till January, right? But this is a good song, good single, solid single. Marathon. It's interesting. I want to see what he's going to do with the next ones, and whether it's going to be Marathon or Warm Words in the Cold War. What songs he's going to come out with next for his single. Of course, we had Havana. He released a couple weeks ago before the album, but the production, dog, in this song, it kind of outweighs the lyrics. That's one thing I got from Outlaws. The production of it outweighs the lyrics. The production through the whole album is pretty dang good. Ross, that's where Ross flexes his muscle once again. You may have the popularity, you may have all that drive, the machine behind you driving your music, but you can't touch his production that I got. You can't match my ear. Right. And so that's where Ross flexes his muscle a little bit. Imperial High, this next track, dog, I gotta say is a great track, but I do wish he would have put one of the Marley Boys on it. But it's all good, man. Imperial High is a great track. He talking that talk, man, getting back to that braggadocious that he had kind of broke away from in the past, like 4 tracks that he had in the middle. The bread and the lettuce in the middle, and the lettuce and tomato in the middle. Those tracks, and he brought it back to the braggadocious rap with this one, man, with Imperial High. So it's a good track, man. Bring you back. That's what Ross does. If you notice, he gets you with the first 2 or 3 or 4, then he hits you with the kind of I can skip these 2, but I'm gonna vibe with them because I fuck with Ross. Then I'm gonna come back at you with this braggadocious stuff, and then I'm gonna end it on up. Because this next song, I really think Richer Than I Ever Been, the title of the album, I think that this was probably the conclusion, right? Like I said, Ross is an author. How he lays out his tracks is almost like a book. If you notice this one, he has Willie Falcone kind of vouching for him a little bit. I told you keep pinning that, but vouching for him a little bit. But then he comes back and lets you know that I really don't need nobody to vouch for me, right? Because I can single-handedly go out here and get these young boys that come on my tracks. We had Young and Ace and Major Nine, Wale, Future. I can get these young boys to come on blast, to come on and do these tracks. But I can also flex my muscle and show you I still got it, right? I still got it in marathon, right? So he writes this. If you look at how he wrote, he laid out this album. It's almost like a book. I truly think Richer Than I Ever Been was supposed to be the last song, but it wasn't. He threw in Hella Smoke featuring Wiz. I do wish he would have put Currency on that one. That's what we all about review, man. I got to critique, dog. I appreciate him, dog, for dropping this album. It was a great album. The production on it was high, 10. I got to say the production, 10, 15, above a 10, right? Production on it was good. Got to say a 8.5. I'm going to give it an 8.5. I don't think it's not going to win one of the best albums, things of that nature, but it is a solid album in my eyes, right? One of his top 6 albums he's done, man. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for an artist to say he has, at least where you can say somebody has a top 6 and still have other ones that he has down the line. But Rick Ross, man, that was a great album. Such a good album. I gotta say, I'm gonna play it over and over and over this weekend, man. It's one I can tell you, dog. It's gonna have a lot of Instagram, social media, Facebook, Twitter. If you're on MySpace, it's gonna have a lot of good quotes. It's a lot of good quote pools from this album, man. I gotta say, it's a lot of good quote pools, right? I gotta say, it's a lot of good quote pools. I mean, it's going to age very good. It's going to age very good. That's another great album by Rick Ross. It's another great episode of Smokescreen Podcast. I told you, real in and out. Please take your time and listen to this, dog. Take your time and partake in this album. Put some up, man. Pour you some up, dog. You know, it ain't number one in here. Pour you some up, man. Get your mind right, dog. Rick Ross, man. I appreciate you once again for listening to Smokescreen Podcast. Richer Than I Ever Been album review, man. I gotta say solid 8.5 out of 10, man. Before I get off, I want to give a shout out, man. Chris, man. Y'all check out. I'm pretty sure he gonna have a review on this album, man. Chris, and also my boy Chris, man. It's crazy. I know 2 Chris's that do album reviews. Also, my boy Chris, man, Flow Muscle 850, dog. He probably gonna do an album review or something like that too to these. But I just watched a couple of their reviews just to touch up on how to do reviews correctly. I just want to give them a shout out. But that's another great episode of Smokescreen Podcast, baby. Hey, I got a great one for you on Monday. You already know what it is, man. I appreciate y'all once again. Let's get this good thing going, baby.